Hello, hope you're doing well. Thomas here. Boop. Gonna be talking about just a general foundational program for just health and fitness. It's pretty much the same song and dance. At this point, my program looks like this, and I'm just gonna give it for free. And this is, pretty good value. I'm thinking lifting every other day, full body, 2 sets, rotate into the next pattern, upper body, lower body, upper body, lower body. After all the patterns are touched, you can loop back around up to 90 minutes. So you don't have to do 90 minutes, but up to 90 minutes. And considering how many working sets you want to get in per week, I'd say minimum, if you're consistent, between 12 and 15 working sets per session. It would look something like a goblet squat into push-ups, into RDL, and some sort of row, like a bent over row, chest supported row, something like that. And then you can circle back around and start the goblet squats again. My reasoning behind this is because of a recent podcast through Mike Israetel and frequency. So instead of like splitting it into one body part or upper body one day and lower body the other day, just kind of touching every muscle, keeping the working sets fresh and intense, because I noticed there is kind of like a fade away, kind of back off fatigue that happens in the third and fourth sets for me personally. If you're a different kind of beast, if you're on some sort of like stimulant or whatever, or extra, you can probably keep pushing the working sets and the output's still pretty good. And this is generally after you have good technique, full range of motion, controlling the eccentric or the yielding phase, and then being able to really output the concentric at maximal speed, because that just recruits more muscle. On top of that, being able to sleep, and this is why I take days off in between, because I take a lot of naps. So sleeping between 7 and 9, I believe, is for men, and for women between 7 and 10 hours helps with recovery, and nothing beats sleep. And that's really a challenge. It's easy to say, but to actually do is a challenge, because there's so many distractions. There's always something to be productive about, and then sometimes thinking about being productive takes time. So when you actually finally get to something, or you're just trying to live your life, and people have kids, they have work to juggle. It's not an easy task, but if you can set it up where you're sleeping really well, then you'll see really good results. On top of that, food, being able to control your diet, making sure your protein is high. Of course, there's nuances of like quality of foods and whatnot. You want your non-GMO, you want your free range, grass-fed. Hey, if you can find it, if you can maintain that and sustain that, good for you. But if you can't, you can get the GMO 99-cent store bag of vegetables, depending on if you're cutting or bulking or whatever. Look, processed foods can't be great, but it really depends on your budget. And that's why probably Trader Joe's is probably one of my favorite grocery stores, because they seem to have mindful ingredients at a very affordable price. But, I say if you have the time, which is not everybody's cup of tea, not everyone has the time to go visit all these different grocery stores, and there's all sorts of ones that may surprise you if you schmooze and shop around a little bit. Keep an eye out on the deals, and there are a number of people though who can afford that and sustain that and if you can, you should. Keeping your protein high, I like to recommend between 1 gram, like 0.7 to 1 gram per pound in lean mass or full body, whatever. But for me, that would be like 220 grams of protein, and I'm not hitting that. I'm getting around 120 to 160 on average. I could probably increase that. So, and that's another thing too, is like knowing what's ideal and then seeing where you are when you do your best, and that's good enough. It really is better than nothing. So lifting full body every other day if it's possible, rotating every 2 sets, and then coming back around once you've done everything that you can think of. Mostly compounds first: push, pull, hinge, squat. I usually pattern it between upper body, lower body. Sleeping well, making sure your sleep hygiene is good, making sure, my little recommendations are like this: a little magnet thing. You put little magnet strips on your nose, and man, it's a game changer for me. I also take red tart cherry pills or 8 ounces of red tart cherry juice, which is very affordable at Trader Joe's. This is like a free, I should get sponsored by them. Anyway, what else? And just checking your diet, making sure you kind of know how many calories, if you're trying to lose weight, which is what most people are trying to do. Just knowing your calories almost changes people's behavior right off the bat. So I don't really try and change too much. Eat what you like to eat, but measure it so you know. Because as soon as you know how many calories you're having, like I had one anecdotal evidence of like one lady who loved peanut butter. And when she finally measured how much peanut butter she was having between 600 and 800 calories of peanut butter. And as soon as she knew that, she changed it all on her own. So knowing your calories, maxing out your protein, and then you can start thinking about nuanced things, right? But with that, I think it sets a really good foundation, and then you can build on top of that. And I think this was really important because there's a lot of distraction and there's a lot of fluffiness that like is entertaining or fun, and it's like you can have fun after you do this, although people would rather play pickleball and stuff, and what can you do? I don't say you shouldn't. Oh, and then I guess I forgot one more thing to add. Let's throw in cardio. Most people need to start with just getting in their right amount of steps. So 7,000 steps has been shown. A lot of people say 10, but I like it bare minimum. So 7, let's do 7,000 steps minimum. And if you can go the extra mile, get a heart rate monitor, and you can calculate your heart rate zones. I love heart rate zone training, and I will promote that till I die. These are the hills I'll die on, okay? And so with that being said, good luck in your health and fitness journey. I hope this helps, and if you bookmark this or you take notes and make sure that these are your foundational pillars, I think a lot of good can happen. I think there's a lot of there's an argument made for cancer prevention, injury prevention, especially with the sleep stuff. A lot of people promote a lot of prevention exercises. It's sure that it's not bad to move and get stronger, but sleeping well prevents injury. When I sleep 9 hours, I'm not really that scared to go super hard at the gym. And if there was any questions, feel free to ask, but just wanted to kind of leave this here for you guys. Take care.